I don't want to. I want to tell you how proud and how happy I am that this next speaker is going to come and share her story. And she's got an incredible story of courage and strength and perseverance and determination. She's got an incredible story of resistance as well. And Claudia and I often talk about the applicants to drug court that are living in the community and still actively using. It's kind of like herding snakes or cats to try to get them rounded up and into detox, because none of the treatment facilities, of course, will take them while they're still under the influence. So they need to get in for 5 days and stay there and be clean and sober for 5 days to go in. Claudia did an amazing job of getting Karinsue rounded up over a year ago into detox. She ran away a couple of times, I believe. Finally, she came back into court and said, I don't want anything to do with you guys. I don't want to be clean and sober, and I don't want drug court. And she left. Back into jail, right? Back into custody. It was a short while later, I got a message from her. I don't even remember how that happened, but she said, Peter, do you think they would reconsider me for drug court? I'm found out that I'm pregnant, and I think maybe I'm going to get serious about it this time. And boy, she did. We took her back. It wasn't my decision. It was the team's decision. Took her in, and she's never, ever looked back. When I talk about determination, determination and strength and perseverance, this lady's got it all. She went through treatment at Aventa, all the phases that she could get in there. And then she's just finished up with Claudia and I and Jen doing 90 days or 3 months of day treatment at our office, where she was an invaluable participant. She was the only gal amongst many guys, and she kept them all in line and did a great job of that. They were all good participants, but Karinsue was certainly an active participant. I asked her at a late notice if she would come and share her story tonight, and she jumped at it. And I am so proud and so happy that you did that. And I'd like to welcome you and come and give you the opportunity to share your story.
Hello, everybody. My name is Karinsue. I'm an addict. Hello. I've never done this before, so bear with me. I've been an addict for almost 18 years. Okay. Well, I don't want to eat it. Okay. I've been a heroin addict for almost 18 years. I wasn't born into it. I was actually born into an amazing family. My stepdad, my mom, my grandparents were the pillar of my family. Nothing went wrong when my grandparents were around. They were the strongest people I've ever met in my life. My grandpa always knew everything. My grandpa never let my mom slap my hand or spank me or yell at me, because she would get a kick in the ass, and I was just his favorite, and it was amazing. My family was put together then. My grandpa passed away in 2000, and everything fell apart. Absolutely everything. I started smoking weed and drinking a little bit. Nothing really stuck. My mom started using. That's where I got my first crack hoot, my first shot of blow, my first dragon. My mom was more of a party buddy than anything. She completely fell apart and she wasn't a person anymore when my grandparents passed away. My family fell apart, and it was horrible. Me and my brother and sister tried to stick together as much as we could. Me and my brother pretty much raised my little sister. We did our best to keep her in school, to keep her just trying to have a decent life. We tried to screen her friends, and it was horrible. We were like bulldogs, and she hated it. But she did still go to school and everything, and she did a really good job. And then my mom completely left. One specific time, I called my sister and my brother, and I asked, it was 2 days before Christmas, and I asked them what they were doing, and they said, I don't know, because Mom's gone. Mom gave us a little bit of money and said she was going to Edmonton, and it blew my mind that my mom would just leave my brother and sister and go with her boyfriend. It didn't surprise me too much because men were always her number one pick, and it threw me off still, but it didn't surprise me too much. That's when my brother and sister started using, and it became to a point where my entire family were addicts, and hard addicts, not just weed or alcohol. We were all either using needles, coke, like whatever it was hard, and we were all really deep into it. And it sucked. It really did suck. I started doing crime to try and take care of my brother and sister the best that I could with money. Any crime that I did, it was to support my brother and sister, and my habit, of course. I did a lot of horrible things, a lot of horrible things. I almost got into prostitution. I robbed, I guess, more or less. I just robbed people. I robbed everybody and anybody that I could. If you knew me, it was because I had robbed you or I'm attempting to rob you. I didn't have many friends. I didn't want any friends. It got to a point where my addiction was the absolutely only thing that I lived for. I was in and out of jail for a very, very long time. I probably did almost 9 years altogether in about a 15-year span. I used while I was in jail. I always found a way to get drugs in jail, whether it was through visits, through mail, buying them from other people who brought them in. I was a constant addict. There was no relief in my life whatsoever. I got arrested when I was 18 years old, and it was I got charged with kidnapping, robbery, assaults, and it was probably the scariest thing that I have been through because I don't remember what I did. I don't remember the people. I couldn't even tell you right now what it was. I just know that I hurt 2 girls really, really bad, and I was in a lot of trouble for it. I woke up in jail, and I sat in jail for about 90 days, and I got sent to the Peter Lougheed Hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. I was there maybe 5 days before I was raped by my psychologist. After that was when I knew that my life was fucked. And I didn't feel like a person after that. I didn't feel like a person after that. I felt like a shell. And I went on through life like that for a very, very long time. I didn't care about anything. I wanted to care so badly for people and for things, and I wanted things in my life, and I had nothing except drugs. Drugs were the only thing that kept me alive, it felt like. Thank you. I went on like that for years. I attempted suicide once at my aunt's place. I had a bra full of blow, and I had just got released from jail, and everybody was calling me. It felt like the only time people talked to me is when they needed something or wanted something. And I felt like
and it was enough. I had enough. After the psychologist thing, I got released from jail and I attempted suicide. I put 2 needles full of blow in my arm and did them both at once. I woke up about a week later in the hospital, and I was angry that I woke up. I was angry that it didn't work, that it didn't happen. I continued, I think I was just waiting to die. I didn't watch the amount of dope I did. I overdosed a few times, and I was angry every time that I came through. I was mad. I wasn't living for anything. The last time that I got arrested and I had probably 36 charges, I think. And they were just charges that I had racked up over a matter of 2 years, just trying to support my habit. My life was going absolutely nowhere. In the last 5 years, my family recovered from their addictions. My brother and sister, my sister has her family and her husband, and she's been clean for almost 6 years, I think. My dad is working so very hard to stay clean. After I got arrested, like Pete said, I tried to apply for drug court the first time. And I did. I came to court. I made every court date. I made every meeting. I made every drug test. Wrecked. Face down, arms up, wrecked. I would tell Claudia that I just did a shot of speed so I could stay awake to be here. And she's like, that's okay, as long as you're here. I tried, and I got to detox. I was there for 2 days, and that is the longest time that I have ever gone without drugs. And I could barely hold myself up. I practically crawled out of Renfrew. I jumped in a cab and I went and got high again. And I felt horrible. I felt disgusted. I was disgusted with myself because I knew that deep down I wasn't that weak. That I had been through enough that if I was still standing after the things that I had been through, why couldn't I fight for myself? When I found out I was pregnant, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I gave it a shot. I called Pete and Claudia and I said that I was pregnant, and I didn't know if they were going to accept me back, but they did. Thank God they did. And they have been nothing but the greatest support for me since. Today I am 1 year and 9 days sober. This last year has been absolutely amazing. There's nothing, you couldn't pay me to go back. There's nothing that I would go back for. I have so many amazing people in my life, and Pete and Claudia have fought so hard for me. And I just want to say thank you so much. You guys gave me the opportunity to save my own life. Thank you.
Well, I will. Thank you, Karinsue. Thank you so much for telling your story from your heart. Avery is the baby she was pregnant with. Avery spent 90 days in day treatment, and when she can talk, I'm sure that she'll be telling some of the stories and some of the one-liners and some of the slogans that she heard every day in day treatment, right? She's an amazing miracle, and we're so proud of how you're looking after her and what a mother you've become. So keep up the good work, and thanks again. We often get asked in this business why we do it. Why do you do what you do? And that's exactly why we do what we do. And miracles, exactly. Transformation and miracles, and it's awesome to see.